This is the Wikipedia page for child-resistant packaging. You're listening to the podcast where we read Wikipedia pages and provide commentary. Welcome to WikiListen. I'm Rachel Teichman, LMSW.
I'm Victor Varnado, KSN. Welcome to the dumbest page in Wikipedia, chosen by Rachel.
Child-resistant packaging. Child-resistant packaging, or CR packaging, is special packaging used to reduce the risk of children ingesting hazardous materials. This is often accompanied by use of a special safety cap. It is required by regulation for prescription drugs, over-the-counter medications, nicotine-containing electronic cigarette devices, or refill containers that can contain nicotine, EU TPD 36.7 pesticides, and household chemicals. In some jurisdictions, unit packaging, such as blister packs, is also regulated for child safety.
The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission has stated in a press release that there is no such thing as a child-proof packaging, so you shouldn't think of packaging as your primary line of defense. Rather, you should think of packaging, even child-resistant packaging, as your last line of defense.
Background. The child-resistant locking closure for containers was invented in 1967 by Dr. Henry Brolt.
A history of accidents involving children opening household packaging and ingesting the contents led the United States Congress to pass the Poison Prevention Packaging Act of 1970, authored by U.S. Senator Frank E. Moss of Utah. This gave the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission the authority to regulate this area. Additions throughout the decades have increased the initial coverage to include other hazardous items, including chemicals regulated by the Environmental Protection Agency. Although child-resistant lids are not perfect, there is strong evidence that use of child-resistant lids has reduced child poisoning rates in the United States substantially. Coordination exists for improving international standards on requirements and protocols.
Difficulty opening. Child-resistant packaging can be a problem for some aged individuals or people with disabilities. Regulations require designs to be tested to verify that most adults can access the package. Some jurisdictions allow pharmacists to provide medications in non-CR packages when there are no children in the same house.
This is like reading paste. Requirements. The regulations are based on protocols of performance tests of packages with actual children to determine if the packages can be opened. More recently, additional package testing is used to determine if aged individuals or people with disabilities have the ability to open the same packages.
Often, the CR requirements are met by package closures, which require two dissimilar motions for opening. Hundreds of package designs are available for packagers to consider.
Standards. ISO 8317 child-resistant packaging requirements and testing procedures for reclosable packages.
ISO 13127 packaging, child-resistant packaging, mechanical test methods for reclosable child-resistant packaging systems.
ASTM D3475 standard classification for child-resistant packages.
ASTM F3159 Consumer Safety Specification for Liquid Laundry Packets, Tide Pods.
ASTM F2517-17 Standard Specification for Determination of Child Resistance of Portable Fuel Containers for Consumer Use. Well, I hope you're happy.
I am so happy to discover that they had to list the relatively new standard for Tide Pods.
Well, there you go. Everyone, if you like pages like these,
please let us know.
Yeah, and then we will read more. Like, what was that page you read? Read Rulers?
Rulers, part 1 and 2.
Rulers, part 1 and 2. On the measuring implement, a ruler.
This has been the Wikipedia page for child-resistant packaging.
If you'd like us to read a particular Wikipedia page, please let us know.
And that can be things like child-resistant packaging. Thanks for listening to WikiListen. To support the show, go to patreon.com/WikiListenPodcast and find us on social media at WikiListen and at WikiListen.